Hi, thanks for gardening with me. I'm Melissa, and today I'm getting started on the potting shed. My major goal for today is to empty it out as much as I can. Maybe get some insulation in today. I don't know. We'll see how much energy I have. I never seem to have a whole lot of energy at the beginning of the season, so it gets better as it goes along. But here's the tarp. I just have it on the back part where the greenhouse is going to go because that's not going to have grass there anyway. So here we go. Let's get started. So before we get started, obviously I have to clean the stuff out that is in there. It is just full of junk. It's been a catch-all for a while. Thankfully, my husband was off this day, so he was able to help me. We have stuff temporarily put in the back of the building on a tarp. And then the rest of this stuff, I'm going to try to see if I can work around it as I go and just kind of move it back and forth. I'm sure that'll get old eventually and I'll have to try to find new places to put them. But as for now, just getting the major clutter out of here is my goal. And then I move on to putting the insulation in. First, I wanted to clean things up a little bit because when the electricity was put in, there was sawdust everywhere, and then also the floor is just nasty. So as I go, I try to keep it semi-clean, but as far as insulation goes, you really should have on a mask and goggles and gloves. And as you see throughout this entire video, I do not do it properly. Here at least I have gloves and a long sleeve on, but later I don't even do that. So do as I say, not as I do. I just have a really hard time. I'm claustrophobic with putting all that stuff on, but I highly do recommend it. So end of day one, I got this wall insulated, which is a big goal that I had. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this tar paper. It's for roofs. We got it for super cheap from Habitat for Humanity, one of the stores that they have. So I'll put that all along the outside of it, and that way when I cut my shiplap and put it on the walls, it'll just be black behind it and you won't see any of this stuff. It'll be super thin spaces between the shiplap, but still you'll be able to see a little bit behind it. So got that done, got a lot of stuff cleaned out, which is good. This is still a hot mess. Have all my pots here, and then in the back of the building on a big tarp I have put a bunch of my windows and things. So I'll cover those up and keep them protected until I am ready to work on my greenhouse. So that's it for today. So welcome to day 2 of the potting shed renovation. Today, my main goal is to get this shelving unit down, which it's huge. I do want to keep all of the wood from it though, because I'm going to use that when building my greenhouse. There's also a shelf overhead that I want to get taken down. I want the ceilings to be open. So having big shelving units up there is just not something that I want. I do have this area up here that I could store stuff if I needed to, like larger things I could put up there. So my main goal today, like I said, is to get those 2 things taken down. I also want to get all of my insulation done today. Those are 2 pretty major projects, so as long as I get those done today, I'm going to feel very successful. So thank you so much for watching, and let's get to it. So I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, man, why is she moving things from one spot to the next and moving them back again? Because the stuff that I have left in here is pretty heavy, and I'm trying to do this all myself. And so taking these big heavy boards outside is just not something I feel like I can do right now. So I'm going to take these from this spot, put them over to that spot for now, just to get them out of the way. So as you see here, I am trying to move everything over to this wall, but as I get to doing it, I realize that those boards are just going to be so in the way and so tedious to move every time. So I am going to keep the window in here for now, but the big boards I'm just going to try to go ahead and get out of the way. I put them in the garage, so needless to say, at this point my garage is a mess because it's got all this stuff that's in there that's going to be in the way now. but at least it gives me some more space to work around in here. Next, I'm just gonna try to keep finishing cleaning off the shelves. That goes pretty easy. The next thing is to just try to get the shelf taken down, and I'll show you here in a minute. There are so many screws holding the shelf together. It was crazy, but it was definitely built solid. I gotta give Tony that. He's the one that made it. These are all the screws that I got out of that shelf that my husband made. So evidently he did not want that shelf to go anywhere. That's a lot of screws. Okay, so for an update, I do have the shelf down. As you can see, man, it really opened this room up a lot. So I am going to have an armoire that's going to go across this whole wall, and then the door going to the greenhouse is going to be right there. So I feel like I'm getting it done. I put all my wood over there, which I don't know why I did that, because I'm just going to have to move it again, but I'm limited. I don't want to put stuff out on the muddy grass. Back to work. So that was probably a really good example of how not to take a shelf down. I'm lucky it didn't fall on my head. Okay, so I'm back from lunch for round two. I got a lot more stuff cleared out from here this morning, and the shelves down, which was great. Now I need to work on insulation. I think what I'm going to do is start with this wall. However, I am going to have to leave the walls that have the electricity on them open. I still need to run the electric for the lights outside, and the one that I have going on the end is going to be a dusk to dawn light, so it needs to just be on all the time, and so we need to figure out a different kind of electrical system for that. Electricity is not my thing, so I am not going to be the one that deals with it. I could wire up a light, no problem, but trying to figure out that other stuff is just beyond me, and I really don't even feel like dealing with it. I'm going to hire a professional, and that way I know that I'm not going to burn the building down. So what I'm going to do is all the spaces that have electrical ran, I'm going to not insulate those, leave those open. I'm going to go ahead and start with the doors, the kind of insulation that I have right now. I need to glue it on. Like I said, I may down the road cut them in half to where I can just open the top half and leave the bottom half closed. That's not something that needs to happen for the function of the garden shed. So what I really want to focus on right now is just getting the potting shed up and running. So that's all there is to say. Time to get to work. Okay, so here we are at the end of day 2. What did I get accomplished today? I got all of this insulation put in, which is easy. That goes in no time. Got the shelving system down from here. Got the shelf up from up there. Got that down. And then this wall, I got the doors insulated. And I got most of this wall insulated. Except for that little piece right there. And not that piece right there. So didn't get all of the insulating done today. It's just because when you got to cut things into measurements and all that stuff, it's just a big deal. It takes time. So, but got that done. And next thing is this, which I put all my wood over there just because I didn't want to put it outside in the weather. So I'm going to have to move that around every time I want to get in there. It's going to be, just is what it is. If I had other storage, I guess I could put it in the garage. So here we are, day 3, about to get started. The things that I really want to get accomplished today is to finish getting the insulation installed. I'm not going to underestimate the amount of time that's going to take today, because yesterday showed me that when you got to do the cuts, it's definitely going to take a little bit more time. I also have to fill in the corners where I'm going to need the extra studs to nail in the shiplap when I put that on. So I'd like to get that done today. If I get to it, I would like to get the outdoor lights installed on this side and up there. I'm not going to connect the wires to the main source where they come in from. I just want to attach the lights to the wires, and I've done that before, so I know what I'm doing there. But that's it. Here we go. Let's get started. So here it is about an hour later. I haven't got started on the insulation yet because I've been cutting down all my pieces of wood that I need to put into the corners to beef those up. There's really no point in putting the insulation in first, because where I did already put the insulation in, I've just got to take it right back down. Good thing I didn't staple it. So then I can beef up the corners and have the shiplap have something to nail to when I go to install that. So these are the things that just take the time up, but there's stuff that you have to get done. It's building up the foundation before you can put the pretty stuff on. So this is the part that when it's all said and done, you won't even be able to see any of it, but it's a very important part of the building process. So here we go, get started. So just in case you're interested, not that you're gonna be doing this, but in case you are, so what I did is I nailed this 1 by 1, halfway sticking out of this 2 by 4, and it'll make sense in a minute. And I'm just using old wood. It's inside this building. It's not like it's outside, so it'll be just perfectly fine. And then I'm also using all those screws that I took out of that shelf that was there. So this is how it's going to work. This will have a place to nail into now, come to the end. And then this one goes even with the 2 by 4s that are going along the wall. So then when I put the shiplap in, I can just screw that into there. Probably going to be nailing it with a nail gun, but I think it'll work just fine. It's so funny because as I edit these videos and I see myself working in fast motion, I think, man, wouldn't it be nice to have a button where you can do that in real life? I could get things done a lot quicker, that's for sure. So like I said, when you have the 16 inches on center, which is the measurement for the studs, which is how wide the insulation is cut originally, when it all works out like that, it goes very quick and easy. But when you have the 2 by 4s that are closer together or further apart because of a window or whatever, then you have to cut it, and that is just, that's a lot of extra work. So that is a close to day 3. Thank God that's over with. I did do insulation today. I got all the insulation done except for where I have the door and where that corner is. I don't have that done yet either, but everything else is done. I've got the black paper put all along the corner here. I didn't get very far on that. A lot of the things today just took a lot of time. There's stuff that when the project is completely finished, you won't see any of it or know that any of it was ever done. but like I said before, it's the foundation that you have to build on. So cutting insulation like this is easy, no problem. You just cut it and stick it in there, you're good to go. It's the ones where you have to cut it skinnier to make it fit, and oh my goodness, that stuff, I don't enjoy it. I probably won't ever do it again. So glad that is done. I will take you a little tour and show you what I did get accomplished today. The light, doing the wiring is super easy, but mounting the light, for some reason the screws weren't lining up for me. I'm sure that I'm doing something wrong, like the screws are a lot longer than what they need to be. So like I said, I'm sure I'm doing something wrong, so I'm gonna YouTube it and see if I can figure it out. I did leave my equipment around so that Tony can take a look at it. He'll probably know right away what I did. So at least I'll know for the next one. But I'll take you a little tour, let you see what I got done today. And I'm not sure if I'm going to work tomorrow or if I'm just going to take the day off. We shall see. So this is what I got finished today. Got the rest of this wall insulated, the light up on the outside. I got this wall insulated and the black paper over top of that. The black paper is going to be over everything. That way when I have the little spacers between the shiplap, all you'll see is black behind there. You won't see studs or any of that stuff. Got that finished insulated up there. It was a pain in the butt. And then I had to do the corners, like I said, to make sure that the shiplap had stuff to screw into. And then outside, it is a mud pit out here, the whole yard, where we had all that snow and then we had all the rain. It's just a mud pit. I left this out. This was my ladder. I just stood in the back of it. But I got one of the lights up. But you can see I just put a washer on the outside of it because that screw is too long for me to fit the cap on. Like I said, I'm sure you're supposed to adjust it on the inside. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong, but hopefully Tony will get home and be able to tell me what I did. I'm not very good for having patience. Look at the yard. I destroyed our yard today. Look at this. Whoops. Whoops. We're gonna have to roll it out anyway. We've had so much work done with them bringing in the barn back there this year. The yard is just destroyed anyway. But it feels great out here right now. I don't have a jacket on. Hi, welcome to day 5 of the potting shed renovation. I did not do a video yesterday because all I really got done was the lighting on the exterior. I got one of my lights put up, and then I just cleaned up the potting shed because it was a hot mess. There was stuff absolutely everywhere. If you'll look at the end of day 3 video, you'll see it was just a mess, and I was done. Day 3 bested me. I mean, it really, it really got me. So I'm glad the installation part is over with, and I can just move on to bigger and better things. After I get the black paper down, I think I'll be ready to just start doing the things that you'll be able to see. You know, the things that, the pretty things, the fun things that'll be installed and moving on to. So here we go, let's get started. So beginning of day 5, and as you can see, I cleaned the place up a little bit. I want to get the black paper on this wall up until the point where I will have the door, and then do that back corner there as well. I think I still have to put a piece of wood up there for the shiplap to be nailed to. I don't think I did that yet. I did part of it. So I have to finish that. Everything else is just pretty much the way I left it, although it is clean. The floors are swept, so I can actually move around. I got rid of a lot of the wood that was being piled up in here that I had to keep moving and working around every time. So I still do have a pile of junk in here that I could put it in the garage until I'm ready to give it its permanent home. But and then that's the rest of the insulation that I still need to work on. I'll show you the lights that I got installed yesterday. Well, one of them. The other one I got installed the day before. It's beautiful out. Today it is going to be, I think, in the 40s, and then tomorrow is going to be in the 70s, I think. But that's the outside lights, and those are going to be inside of the greenhouse. So I really love them. And then I'll have another one that'll be bigger, and it'll go up there. And then the one today that I want to get in will be a can light right there. So here we are at the end of day 5. I do feel like over these 5 days I did get quite a bit accomplished. Maybe not as much as I was hoping to, but isn't that just how things work? I did get everything finished, getting the paper put on everything today that I was able to. I still have some spots that I don't want to put it on yet because I'm waiting for the electrician to come out, which he's coming Monday. So after he gets those final things touched up, then I can put the rest of the black paper on, and I'm hoping that next week I can start. I'll put my floor in, which I'm just going to put linoleum, just the cheapest that I can find that looks halfway decent. I don't want to spend a lot of money on this floor, but I do want it to be linoleum because I'll be running in and out of here with muddy shoes on, and that'll just be easy to clean up. I don't need to have a big fancy floor in here or anything like that. After I get the floor in, then I will start on the walls, and after I get the walls finished, then I'm going to build my cabinet here. So this is the end of this video for today. We'll have 5 days hopefully on each video, and that way it's more than just one day, so you can see how things progress, but yet I don't want to have the whole thing in one video and you not be able to just kind of see the process in case this is something that you want to do for yourself. So in the meantime, I do have some work to do in the yard, and I'm hoping to get out here tomorrow. It's supposed to be like 70 and sunny. It's going to be beautiful. I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, thank you so much for gardening with me. God bless, and have a great week.